It is predicted that a candidate who sits for a national exam having a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear for that examination loses between 5 and 10 marks in every paper. Losing 5 to 10 marks in every paper means the difference between 2 grades. A candidate who would have gotten an A will now get a C. A candidate who would have gotten a C will now get an A. You can imagine the costs that this candidate will have by the time they will be completing the examination. Mind you, these 5 marks they are losing to 10 marks are the same concepts they would have gotten if they were not having the excess anxiety and the excess fear as they are sitting or approaching the national examination. It is not abnormal for a candidate to have anxiety or to have fear for the national examination. To a human being, anxiety and fear is a natural response to danger or threat. The problem only comes in if the anxiety is to the excess, if the fear is to the excess, and far above the levels which are considered normal. Anxiety is the imagination of a threat or a danger, which is the national examination in this case. The danger, the threat bringing about fear is that national examination. And now, when this anxiety and this fear goes beyond what is considered normal, it affects in a big way the performance of such a candidate. I do not mean by any chance that a candidate should not be having any fear or anxiety as they are approaching their national examinations. If you are a candidate and you feel as if you are 150% confident going for the examination, then that is also a danger because you are getting to be overconfident. Overconfidence can also be very expensive. It makes someone to be careless and not very keen when reading through the questions and when presenting the answers. The candidates who have overconfidence as they sit for a national examination or as they prepare for the national examination are known to do very poorly in those examinations. Having this anxiety and fear at a low level ensures that one is careful in the preparation, one is careful while reading the questions, and one is careful while presenting the answers in the examination. Our concern for today is when this anxiety is to the excess, when this fear is to the excess, because it will also affect your performance at the end of the exam period. And therefore, we have to come up with a way of beating this exam anxiety as much as we can. When some candidates were confronted with this excess anxiety, they resorted into very risky behaviors which costed them a lot, and they are blaming themselves day in, day out for the actions that they took to beat the exam anxiety. I remember of a testimony of a candidate who was sitting for a geography exam. And because they were having a very good geography revision book, the candidate cheated himself that he would put the geography revision book in a nylon paper, open the toilet cistern, hide it inside, and now during the examination, he would act as if having stomach upsets, and therefore a running stomach, requesting for permission to go to the toilet so that he could go and help himself. But instead, he knew at the back of his head he was going to read the answers in the geography revision textbook. So when the geography paper started, and he was in the exam room for about 20 to 30 minutes, reading through the questions, cramming them, he was so confident that he would be able to get all the answers in the geography textbook that he had hid in the toilet. And so he acted as if to have a stomach upset, a running stomach, and requested for permission to go to the toilet, and the permission was granted. On getting to the toilet, opening the toilet cistern and pulling out the nylon paper having a book inside, he almost dropped in the toilet because he thought it was a geography textbook. But hurriedly in the morning, trying to hide the book, he hid the chemistry textbook. And therefore, he's having a chemistry textbook with him here. And the questions in his head, he was coming to look for answers so as to cheat in the exam, was a geography examination. He was almost crazy. He ran from one toilet to another, opening all the cisterns, hoping that he had kept the book in a different cistern, but there was no book. He went back to the exam room, shaking, full of fear. Anxiety was on the highest level, and the performance in that geography examination was the poorest he has ever gotten in his high school life. And therefore, he had himself to blame for trying to cheat in the examination, and it backfired the way it did. Another candidate gave a testimony that he had bought what was perceived to be a leaked exam for the next day. It was a mathematics paper. And he even borrowed the money, acquired the leaked exam, as it was called, prepared for it so vigorously, and almost was 100% sure he would get all the answers. When he got into the exam room the next day, the exam was an emergency exam because the government had it that the exam had leaked, and therefore the paper was completely different. Remember, this candidate had narrowed his revision and preparation for the mathematics examination because he thought that he had the actual paper he would be sitting for in the next day. And now, here is an exam that is totally different. He almost fainted in the exam room, started sweating, and struggled through the mathematics paper, and again got the poorest mark he has ever gotten in his high school life. You can imagine these two testimonies. You're having exam anxiety, you're having fear for the national exam to the excess, and the way you think of beating the anxiety and the fear is a very risky way that will cost you even more while you'll be sitting for your examination the next day, in the coming week or in the coming hours. It is psychologically advisable that if you see you are having excess anxiety, your fear is beyond what is considered to be normal, seeking for intervention may be the best thing to do, so that you may have a psychologist to help you calm down your thoughts, help you to concentrate, help you to make use of the few days or even weeks you are having towards the examination, so that you may be able to make the best out of this time and out of the days you'll be sitting for your actual examination. A candidate might be thinking that time is running out and no time is left. But remember, the last minute can save a person. The last kicks can save a drowning horse. So this could be your last minutes. This could be the chance for you to kick the last kicks so that you don't drown in the examination. But if you are not in the right state of mind, anxiety has taken over, fear has taken over, you can be sure you won't be able to make the best out of the few days, the few weeks, or even the few months you are having towards your national examination. In our lesson today, we are going to teach you on the science, the causes, the risky behaviors, and the tips in beating exam anxiety, and we hope it will be beneficial to you as a candidate, to you as a parent, as a guardian, as a teacher, and other stakeholders in the education sector. Thank you, and you can reach out to us so that you can get the complete lessons on beating exam anxiety and fear for national examinations. Thank you.